this PC is actually older than some of the people watching these videos. And the real question is, can it still run after all these years? What kind of CPU inside? Which brand make the GPU? Let's crack this box open and find it out. Well, it is a true blast from the past. The BG Towers has seen some things. The faded CMS logos, the floppy drive, and that vintage dust coating really sell the retro aesthetic. It's not exactly slick or modern, but you got to admit, it got old school charm. Let's take off the slide panel and see what accents hardware is hiding inside. Who knows what's really we uncovered. Right in the center of the case sits the Foxconn T41ND motherboard, a micro ATX board built on Intel T41 chipset, supporting the LGA 775 socket for Core 2 Duo, Core 2 Quad, Pentium Dual Core, and Celeron CPUs. It comes with two DDR2 RAM slots, one PCIe X16 slot, and two SATA 2 ports, making it ideal for office build or low bucket system back in the day. However, given its age, it's really only suitable for basic tech now and lack modern features like USB 3.0 or NVMe Sport. Next, we got a Phantom 250-watt power supply. Not exactly small, but definitely old and practice primed. With power loss over the years, its real output is likely much lower. It might handle things for now, but I'm not too confident I will keep up once we start upgrading a bit later. It's also rocking a single 2GB stick of DDR2 RAMs at 1016 MHz. Yeah, just 2GB. That's barely enough to keep Windows from begging for mercies. Forget multitasking, even opening Chrome might feel like a boss fight. For gaming, let's just say this stick doing its best. Let's take off the coolers and see what CPU is hiding underneath. Inside, we got an Intel Pentium E5700, a dual-core processor based on Worthdale architectures released in first quarter of 2010. Is a 2-core, 2-thread chip running at 3.0 GHz. Once a very common choice for office and entry-level PC back in the days. Cooling is a stock Intel fan that's been spinning for over a decade, and honestly, it looks almost brand new. It also comes with 3.5-inch IDE hard drive, a real blast from the past. These things belong more a museum than a modern PCs. At this point, it's painfully slow and practically useless for anything beyond reminding us how far storage takes has come. And here's the funny part. This PC doesn't have a dedicated GPU, and the CPU doesn't even have integrated graphics either. So how it is still displaying an image and running just fine? Well, for those who didn't know, it's using G41 chipset. Built-in graphics, the legendary Intel's GMA-X 4500. It's not powerful by any means, but hey, it keeps the screen on and save both money and motherboard space. Alright, let's plug this thing in and see what 15 years old PC can still do. Power on, and wow, it took about a minute and a half just to boot into Windows. Not exactly ideal for the impatient. Opening CPU Z confirms everything. The Pentium M5700, 2-core, 2 threads, running at 3 GHz. The Foxconn T41 motherboard, 2 GB of RAM. And yes, we're getting the video output through the T41 integrates GMA X 4500 graphics. After booting up, I tried a few basic tasks. Word opens about 3 seconds and typing feel fine. Browsing with 2-3 tabs is still okay. YouTube a full HD start up choppy but smooth out after a few minutes. It's like PC need a little warm up straight. As for gaming, not happening. Most modern titles require DirectX 11s or higher, while the GMAX 4500 only support DirectX 10. So yeah, these old machines' gaming careers ended a long time ago. But hey, it's still alive, and the kinds of impressive. Let's see if we can give this old PC a second life with a few upgrades. First, I swapping in a 500GB SSD that already have Windows and a few games installed. That alone should make a night and day difference. Next, I'm pulling out the tiny 2GB RAM stick and replacing with 16GB of DDR2 running at 1600 MHz. That should finally let Windows breathe a little. And of course, the most important piece is for gaming, the GPU. Since the power supply is only around 200 watts, I can't exactly throw in anything crazy. So I'm going with the GTX 750 Ti 2GB. Efficient, reliable, and just powerful enough to give the Xeon setup a fair shot at modern gaming. First, I started off testing Valorant on low settings. The game ran about 60 to 70 FPS, sometimes hitting 80 when just walking around, but it dropped to roughly 40 during fights. The CPU was constantly at 100%, running around 2.9 GHz and putting only about 30 watts. Very power saving, but yeah, that's the main bottleneck. Since Valorant relied a lot of CPU power, the frame rate was very stable. You can still play it if you were just testing the game out. But if you plan to play often, this PC really isn't the one for you. Next up, we got Fortnite, also running on low settings. I even dropped the resolution down to plain HD, but yeah, this poor CPU was not having a good time. Frame drop were happening left and right, sometimes dipping into single digits. Sure, it sometimes hit 50 FPS, but it's cold that smooth would be a lie. After about 3 minutes of gameplay, the whole PC is just froze solid. No respawn, no movement, just silence and regrets. Alright, next up, Little Legends is a pretty like MOBA, so I wasn't expecting too much trouble. Running everything on the lowest settings as full HD. This little CPU actually held up pretty well, around 70 to 80 FPS and no frame drop even during 1v1 fights. Now, to be fair, this was just a bot match, so if in a real game things would probably dip a bit once the chaos starts. But honestly, for a setup this old, it's kind of impressive. You can definitely play League smoothly, just don't expect it to look pretty. Alright, next up is Minecraft, set to 8 chunks, no shader, and now this one is completely different story. FPS can sometimes shot up into 160, but the weak CPU just can't keep it steady, often dipping down to around 10 to 20 FPS. When I try blowing up some TNT, is bottom out around 8 FPS, pure chaos. Still, the game playable, kind of not smooth but not unplayable either. And since I love pushing my luck, I decided to humiliate the CPU by turning shaders on. At that point, it dropped to around 20 FPS while looking to water. So yeah, technically it's run Minecraft, just don't expect miracle. After testing all those games, it's safe to say that these old PCs have officially shown us its limits. It's not fast, it's not smooth, but it's still kind of amazing that a 50 years old system can even boot modern games at all. But for anything serious, yeah, time to let it rest. Anyways, if you enjoyed this little memory trip, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to my channels, and I will see you guys in the next video.